Hi, traders. Um, as I have been talking to quite a few of you, um, I realize some of the questions that you ask, um, they really could have been answered with a proper trading plan. Now, what you see on your screen here is my original trading plan. Now, some of you that I have spoken with, and we've gotten to the point where I start asking you about your trading plan, and you show me what you have, and then I show you what I have. I typically get the same response, and that's normally something like, "Wow, very detailed." Um, you know, I could do. I wish I could do something like this. Well, truth of the matter is, you can. Um, and I've certainly pointed it out on a number of occasions that all it requires is just a moment to sit down and really get to know yourself, understand your trading personality, and understand what you're going to do before, during, and after you get into a trade. All of these things should be spelled out in your trading plan. Now, I'm not going to go into the details all about mine, and certainly if you want to see, my example of what I think a trading plan looks like, then I'll certainly DM me. I'll be more than happy to share it with you. Um, I will go on to say that a trading plan is also a living document. I mean, what you're seeing here is my original, but my original is slightly different from my current trading plan. And next year, around summertime, that'll probably change once again, just based on what I may have learned and how I can better become the trader um, that I aspire to be. Now, of course, just sort of a quick run through. I spell out exactly what I'm going to do um, after the market closes for the week. I kind of lay out exactly all of those things that I'm interested in looking to do to prepare myself for the upcoming trading week. For example, I'm going to update my markups on my charts because obviously, that trading week I may have been trading from a peak formation high. Um, but next week, the upcoming week, I'll be trading from a peak formation low. So I'll mark that up. And then, of course, any other, setups that I may see on a particular pair that I'm watching, if I see that my setup is, nearing to the point where I'm ready to get into the market on that pair, I'm going to mark that up too. And I typically do that, normally hours after the market's closed. All of the things of the week are still fresh on my mind, so I don't really have to fret so much about what I thought was happening on a Thursday or Wednesday. I tend to kind of quickly replay that all in my head. However, what I also have in my trading plan is, my risk management rules. How much am I willing to risk per trade, per week? Those things are in there. My entry rules. What am I looking for to get into the market? Am I looking for, a particular candlestick pattern like a morning star, an evening star? Is that something that I'm looking for to get in? Am I looking for tweezer tops or tweezer bottoms? Am I looking for an engulfing? All of those things. Some of you that are still using all of the EMAs, then you're certainly probably looking for a 513 cross. You're looking for the confirmation candle to close above or below the 13 EMA. Those are certain things that you really should not even have to think about once you're in the trade. I just got off of a session with a trader, and basically we were talking about stop loss rules. Well, a lot of people say that there is no particular cookie cutter. Well, I tend to disagree. You can have a cookie cutter stop loss. As like, for example, if I'm looking for my setup and on the reversal, if I get a shift candle that is greater than 20 pips, I'll pass. I'll just wait on the safety trade and get in there. I'm not going to try to jump in on a shift candle that's shifted, 20 plus pips, because it puts my stop loss at risk. So, no, I'm not going to do that. But because I have those particular rules in my trading plan, that's something I don't even have to think about. It's just like, oh, okay, that's what that is. All right, we're going to wait. We're going to wait for the next opportunity. Boom, I'm in. My stop loss is at an adequate risk. And then plus, it still helps me maintain my risk to reward ratio. And as a swing trader, I typically go for, 1 to 5, 1 to 10. But if you're intraday and scalper, you might not necessarily be looking for that high to risk reward ratio. So it certainly all depends on your trading personality. Also, my exit rules. Am I getting out at a particular EMA? Am I getting out at the 50? Am I getting out at the 200? Well, when I used to use those EMAs, yes, those would take profit areas. Now, what I typically do is, since I know that the market moves from consolidation zone to consolidation zone, then I just look for where consolidation is, and that's my take profit. It's really just that simple. I don't try to overcomplicate it. But all of that stuff, that's in this training plan of mine. And it should be in yours, because if you have all of that stuff, then you can become somewhat robotic when it comes to getting into the market. And my trading plan plays out exactly what I need to do before, during, and after I have placed a trade. And then, of course, in my particular trading plan, I indicate what trading personality I am. Now, I think when I originally did this particular trading plan, I kind of considered myself a scalper and an intraday trader, but I no longer consider myself that, because um, as a swing trader, I don't really have to be concerned um, with some of the volatility that scalpers and intraday traders have to deal with. I was certainly talking with another trader also today, and I'm not knocking scalping and intraday, because if it works for you, it works for you. But I sort of look at scalping and intraday trading. I sort of look at that as like standing in the middle of rush hour traffic and hoping to not get hit. Um, Whereas as a swing trader, it's like taking a nice little leisurely drive through the suburbs, right on out of town, to your very nice, quiet place. I don't have to worry about NFP or some of these other, you know, regular occurring incidents that show up on the economic calendar. I don't. I mean, I look at them, at the beginning of the week when I'm planning out my trade, but, normally by the time that event happens, I'm so far away from it, it does not even matter. So, although that's not the whole intent of why I made this particular video, but I figured I'd just drop that in there real quick. And then, of course, toward the end, then I sort of kind of, at that particular time, I had my current daily and weekly goals. Because, like I said, I leave nothing to chance. Um, I want to be able to approach my charts with a clear mind, with a clearly specified goal. So, of course, along with all of that I've talked about, because once I'm in the trade, I've already know if I'm going to scale in or if I'm just going to go huge right from the top. So If I do a scaling in, then I know exactly when and where I'm going to scale in. I don't just randomly do that either. So my point is, be very specific about your trading. And if you're very specific about it, then that leaves very little doubt in your mind. Only thing that you need to do at that particular point is just be able to, one, read the charts to where they benefit you. So your technical analysis needs to be pretty decent. And I say pretty decent because I don't think anybody should be a better analyst than they are a trader, certainly if you're in it to make money. But I do think, I know for me personally, I would rather be a better trader than an analyst. But I do want to be a good analyst too. And that's a lot of times why I refrain from trying to give other people advice in terms of their analytical skills. Because now that I can read the chart, analytical skills mean very little to me. I understand the characteristics of price action. And as each day goes on, and me being a student of it, I'm learning more and more each day. So, again, have a plan. If there was anything that I could really give to you, is that have a plan. Know what you're going to do in every aspect of the trade. I've told this story once before, and I'll recap it one more time. You can pick any athlete, any, and certainly at the height of their craft. But I'm going to take and use Muhammad Ali because he's the greatest, and, well, he's just the greatest. Ali, what you didn't see, we all just was fascinated by what we saw in the ring. But what you didn't see the training. You didn't see the sparring partners that he had. Those sparring partners looked exactly like the opponents that he was going to face on fight night. And as he trained and prepared for that fight, he did it daily. And so when it became fight night, he knew exactly what he was going to do. And Ali was going to let you box yourself out. If he saw that you didn't have a lot of stamina, he'd let you box yourself out, and then he'd come and hit you with the rope-a-dope. And then he'd just clown you and knock you out. But because he did that, he saw that happen each and every day, each and every night that he trained. You have to do the same thing. You have to train your eyes to see what you need to see in the market. And in order for you to do that, you have to have a clear and a calm mind. You can't be thinking about whether you're going to add another position if you hadn't already had that sorted out. You shouldn't have to think about where you're going to add that position if you've already got that sorted out. Those things you should already know before you even place your initial position. Now, I could go on and on and on and on, but I won't. I've already spoke for about 13, 14 minutes, and I think that was a little bit more than necessary, but sometimes I'll get a lot long-winded, but I do it because I want you to grow. I do it because I care about you, and I want to see you succeed. I may not have never laid a single eye on you, never touched you, or anything of that sort, but you are a part of PIP society, and I want to see you win. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. I thank you for allowing me to be in your ear at this particular point in time. And for that, I'm grateful. I certainly hope to see you at the location of your choosing in the future, and we celebrate together. And with that, I'm going to tell you, as I always tell you, let's go get these pips.